Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Well, looking at the way Manchester City form is going, I thought this was the right time for me to make this video. Well, in this video, I will be talking about the major problems of Manchester City and what signing they need to make to get back to their best. Because let's be honest, right now Manchester City are literally playing worse than mid-table teams. Now, some of these players are heavily linked with Manchester City, and some of them are just my humble opinion that these players would realistically suit Manchester City really well and will significantly improve them. Because believe me, Manchester City are really going down bad. Because in their last 13 games, they had 9 losses, 3 draws, and 1 win, so it's really looking bad. So, let's begin with first and foremost the biggest problem of Manchester City, and that is Rodri's replacement. Now, you must have heard this time after time like City needs Rodri, and City are nothing without Rodri recently. But why? People are saying it because Manchester City are a team that likes to have possession, and they are excellent when they have the ball. But the moment they lose it, players like Gundogan, Bernardo Silva, Mateo Kovacic, or anyone in their midfield is not capable of tracking back or even making those cheap fouls, because once the opposition are on counters, City gets exposed. That's why they need someone to replace Rodri. Now, I have just mentioned off-the-ball things, but believe Rodri does much more than this. But for now, Manchester really needs a ball. Winning midfielders, the one options that comes to everyone. Mine is Martin Zubimendi. Now, Zubimendi has rejected Liverpool recently and has stated his clear desire to stay at Sociedad. But the way things are going, Manchester City are really looking at Zubimendi as possible signing because this guy fits all the criteria to be that Rodri's replacement. He isn't as good as Rodri, but he is not that far from him, to be honest. And he can play as single pivot, and also alongside with Rodri, and he would almost cost upwards of 50 to 60 millions. The issue being, it would be hard to get this guy in winter, because Sociedad won't let Zubimendi caliber of player leave them mid-season. So the second option for that DM position is somewhat underrated, and that is Ederson. And no, I am not talking about the goalkeeper, but this guy is absolute monster, and he has been really an integral part of this rise. If Atalanta, and when you see Atalanta play, they are an incredible team top of the Serie A. Ederson really becomes an interesting option as he is not similar to Rodri on the ball. Like, he is not great at controlling tempo or controlling game. These are not his strong points. He is decent at them, but his strong points are his ability off the ball. The guy is a hound. He is a great ball winner, and he can bring that physicality in that midfield that City lacks. And when Rodri does come back, Ederson can also play as a second fiddle to him. He would also cost upwards of 50 million. And the third option is Bruno Guimaraes. Now, this guy really the best option in case of City, because if Manchester City lands this guy, which would be extremely hard because Newcastle knows his worth and they won't let them, their gem go with that much ease. But this guy is a perfect option because he is jack of all trades. He can bring that physicality in the midfield. He is neat on the ball, he can control the tempo and the game, and he is great ball retainer. He is not great as above options, but the best thing being he can actually play alongside Rodri as in when he arrives and form an incredibly balanced midfield partnership, but he would cost 100 million. Now, I don't, if that's the actually price, because Newcastle are not even considering to selling him, and few extras that we can talk about would like Joshua Kimmich. As we all know, he is going to be free agent next season, and there is a lot of competition of this guy. Though if Pep Guardiola wants, he can actually pull off the signing. Joshua Kimmich. And another great option would be young, yet talented, Carlos Baleba. This guy is absolute gem, and we all know Brighton rarely misses their replacements. So let's move on to our next position that Manchester City needs a replacement of. Is a center back like Manchester City is leaking hella goals. Like, they are getting banged, but from time after time, and their defense is really bad. This season, like, John Stones hasn't been the same after that Champions League campaign season, where he played as a DM. He has been constantly injured. The Nathan Ake situation is similar. He is also an injury-prone player. Then their captain, Ruben Dias, has also gotten injured a lot this season. So their defense is fully injury-prone, and they don't have that much recovery pace, to be honest, and it's not like they are bad defenders. But the issue being the entire squad of Manchester City needs an overhaul, and there are a lot of old guards that might need to move to bring like that young and hungry blood, and I think their defense needs some changes. The first guy I believe would be great for them is Antonio Silva. He is a young talent and one of the most rated prospects. He has an immense potential. He is a great defender, to be honest. But to get him, Manchester City would have to splash the bank because Benfica won't let get away that easily. The second option is Milan Skriniar. Now, he has been out of favor in PSG, and PSG are trying to sell him, and he could be a great addition to the squad. Again, he is a bit old, though he could bring that much needed depth in that defense, and the next position is right back. Now Manchester City needs to get this position sorted as quickly as possible, because this downfall of Kyle Walker is something else. The guy went from the best right back to a literally meme as of now. So the first option is Benjamin Pavard for me, because he can play as center back, can play as right back, he can also play in a back three. So he is basically a versatile defender who can offer a lot of opportunities to Manchester City. And he has been great for Inter Milan, and it's not like he would even cost that much. He can cost at least under 30 million, and this guy would be bargained for City. The second option for me is Pedro Porro, and he would be a perfect replacement, and he is from City Academy, so he knows the club well. So he would be a perfect option, though. Getting him from Spurs is going to hella problematic and headache work for City, but this guy is worth it. He great in attack, great in defensive phases, a great wing back, plus he can play as interior. What else do Pep Guardiola wants? And an extra option would be Arnau Martinez from Girona. Now, he is kind of underrated option, but he would suit Manchester City exceptionally well. Like Barcelona has been linked with a lot, plus he is from City's sister club, so it can actually happen. But moving on to next position that City needs to fill up is their forward line, because Manchester City rely heavily on Erling Haaland to score those goals. And when he doesn't score those goals, this team's lacks someone to step up. Usually Julian Alvarez used to do that, because as much as Manchester City needs Rodri's replacement, they need Alvarez. Replacement is same manner because Haaland has been playing a lot, and you can't ask me to play every match, and you just need someone to give, bit of competition. And whenever you need to rest Haaland, he can come on, score some goal. They really need that kind of players. And one more thing to add, Manchester City's recruitment is really bad recently also because the players they have on wide like Doku or Savio are not a goal-scoring wingers, rather than that they more like creative wingers who like to take on defender. But their output on goal is horrible. That raises more need for scores in the team. So my first option is Liam Delap. He is Manchester City Academy talent playing for Ipswich Town as of now, and this season he has been great. He's somewhat similar to Haaland, like strong physically, and our goal scorer, which could be great addition for City, and City also has buyback options, so City should jump the gun and sign this guy. The other option would be Omar Marmoush. Now, he isn't linked with them, but with more linked with Liverpool. But I believe he would excellently suit them. He is exceptional baller who can play wide as cam or even as striker with Haaland. He is somewhat similar to Julian Alvarez in a lot. If aspects, he is different to Alvarez as he can play more comfortably on wider channels. But there are a lot of similarities which could make him great addition to their squad. Plus, he would most likely cost less than 40 to 50 million. Another option would be to call back Claudio Echeverri from loan, because they signed this Argentine wonder kid and sent him back to loan to River Plate for another season. So he would basically arrive next season. The best thing they could to do is either let him develop in Girona, if he is not up to that level yet, or if he is at that level of City, let him stay. In the squad, he is great talent, and last position that Manchester City really needs to replace is that cam position, which has been of Kevin De Bruyne for so long. Now, I don't if De Bruyne is going to stay or not next season. But the way things are going, it's more likely that he is out than in, because he still has the quality, but his injuries, concerns, plus age just holds him down. And I do realize a lot of Manchester City fans, including me as a neutral, thought that Phil Foden is that KDB replacement. But nope, he isn't close. When you look at KDB, he finds players with some of the most outrageous passes that you could think of his passing abilities, and his creativity is insane, combined with goal-scoring prowess. But Foden, on the other hand, is more of goal-scoring number 10. He is not able to find those passes. Plus, you could see his relationship with Haaland. Not like what you're thinking, but like whenever Haaland makes runs, Foden rarely passes to him, contrary to KDB. So what Manchester City needs is creative number 10 who can replace KDB. And the first option is Florian Wirtz. He is the guy. He is perfect replacement of KDB because he can find those outrageous passes, as his passing range is insane. Plus his creativity is on another level. That combined with his goal-scoring abilities. Plus he is great when it comes to controlling games at times. So Florian Wirtz is that guy. Manchester City has to sign. They need to sign him, but getting from Bayer Leverkusen would be hard, as Real Madrid are in the competition. And not only them, but a lot of top clubs are in for him, and he would cost upwards of 100 million. And to be honest, he deserves every penny if that's how great he is. But people rarely talk about him due to him in Bundesliga. And another option could be Xavi Simons. He is similar to that of Florian Wirtz. He is number 10 with a great goal-scoring prowess plus eye for those passes. And that best part being it doesn't look like he wants to be at PSG. He hasn't constantly at loans from one club to another, so City could actually snatch him, and he could be great. Deal though, Wirtz still. For me would be top pick. Another option would be Jamal Musiala. But I don't think he is leaving Bayern Munich, and Bayern Munich would make it hell to let him leave that easily. They are already preparing a contract extension for him. Well, that was it. If you agree or even disagree with my opinions, let me know in the comments. Plus, who do you think that Manchester City sign in winter or summer transfer window? Also, let me know that in comments down below, but that's that for today, guys. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. That would help a lot. And thank you for watching the video.